Hello everybody, I am the fucking bear and this is Future Grind. I'm going to be doing a holiday slice. I'm going to be doing a sort... Hi, Ada. She's a rep from Slice, the top brand for entry-level pro grinding equipment. Welcome to the Slice fam. Party streamer thing. Let's see if you have what it takes. Start with our track at mirror. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about the game as I'm playing it, but I'm gonna be doing something kind of different. In this video, because this game, oh, you get a double jump, nice. This game is still under what's that fucking word? What's the word, people? Guys, what's the word? Hey guys, what's the embargo? And this is actually the first time I've gotten a game this far away from the embargo. Usually I get a game and it's like it's either already out or it's going to be out within the next day, but this is like 2 weeks from embargo. So what I'm going to do with this game is I'm going to do a two-part video. And when I say two parts, I don't... Nice, as your sponsor. You need to capitalize the ads. You don't capitalize shit, Ada. What's your deal? We need you to do special assignments on the same track to show off your skills. Can you handle it? Right. Anyway, when I say two-part video, I don't mean that there's going to be two videos, even though, I mean, there might be if I end up really liking this, but I'm going to do a while of recording for first impressions, and then I'm going to play a bunch without recording, and once I've got a good consensus of whether or not I like this game, I'll do another recording, and then I'll put those two together, and that'll be because it's kind of professional. I'm doing it like a professional, actual, legitimate reviewer person. You know, the thing I claim to be when I ask for these free games. By the way, did I mention this game was free? Yeah. I got it through terminals. Okay, don't touch any yellow rails. I can do that. I can totally do that. Whee! Seems like, you can, see, when I watched the trailer for this, I thought that there'd be physics involved and that you had to, land on things to grind them, but if I hold the jump button, I can grind on ceilings. No, this hasn't... Do one on... Oh, that thing that I literally just talked about doing. Now, this hasn't come into play yet. Am I still supposed to avoid the yellows? I'm worried that I'm still supposed to avoid the yellows. Oh. So I still have to avoid the yellows. But yeah, as you just saw, you have to avoid rails that aren't your color. And what'll come into it is that there will be times when you're... I don't even know what to call this fucking thing. Your weird double bike thing. Nice work. My boss says you can run our track in Sanctuary now. Keep it up and you'll earn yourself a holiday in no time. Half grind for a half... What? Holiday? Why am I going on holiday? Alright. And it looked like there were actually some bikes that are like different shapes to kind of give you... Now I wonder why I'm able to go on the white Is white like a fair game? Just do it whatever you want. Do one hang. Okay. I can do that. I can do that easy peasy. I did it. I did another one. I did another one. I did a bunch of them. Wait a minute. It looks like when I touch the white. Let me retry that. Okay, so the white, even though it's safe, it's bad for me. Because it ends my combo. Ah! That didn't end well. So, if I can avoid the white... I guess the white is like an emergency kind of thing. There we go. Grind all the purple. Well, don't jump too high or you could miss out on grinds. Boom, 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 bam, boom, 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 ba-doom, ba-dunk-a-dunk. Yeah, yeah, we got this. We got this in the bag. It was getting all weirdly fast and like shit going by. Cakewalk, left coast. I'm Grant. No, bring back the pretty lady. I'm Rep for left coast. I've been watching your moves on the slice tracks, and I think you might be left coast material. Let's see what you can do with our bike. Well, shiggle boogles. Match wheel color to rail, or else. Oh, I was being cocky trying to do some fancy shit. I keep trying to do fancy stuff. Okay, this is where the game's actually gonna get hard, and and the fun ends and the challenge begins. Can we go back to the fun? I just liked grinding. It was nice. I keep this is breaking my brain open. My brain don't like this. I keep trying to do fancy stuff, and I know I shouldn't be doing fancy stuff, but I want to do fancy stuff like a boom. And then die. And then fancy like a boom. And then boom. And then boom. And then boom. Ah, I bomped too high. My bomp was too high. I over-bomped myself. You ever over-bomp yourself? It's a problem that many men face. Over-bomping. Okay, what if I bomp? Yeah. 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 I underbomped. It's the opposite. Sometimes, you know, we can't get the bomp up. I don't think we should be judged for when we can't get the bomp up, you know. It happens to everyone, okay? So stop fucking being a dick about it. My bomp isn't happy. Alright. No, we're gonna do the fancy stuff. We're gonna do the fancy stuff. Because otherwise, what's the point? Ah. Oh, I thought I had to jump from a... Like, I know I have the double jump, but you can jump from a fall. I did not know that. I thought that if I fell, then it was just a fall. Ah! Ah! My brain don't want to work. Guys, it says leave the practice track when you're ready to continue. That's my first criticism. You shouldn't have important things in tiny text like that because stupid people like me won't read it. Alright. There we go. Got an achievement for that. Oh, more pretty ladies. Bring back all the pretty ladies. Hey, it's me, Ada. Wait a minute, you're not Ada. Ada was like different. She had purple hair on the side of her head. Why are you all black and white and stuff? You're like anti-Ada. It's too dangerous for me to contact you like this through my work account. Listen, I need your help. Just be careful. Things aren't what they seem. You'll see. Ah, shit. We got a storyline here. I was not expecting a storyline. Okay, I need to do a front flip, people. You watch this shit. I'm gonna nail it first try. First try. Still counts. Still counts as first try. Ah. My eyes hurt. I just now noticed that there's a person on that bike. I didn't notice that before. I almost forgot to do my front flip. I didn't do my front flip, guys. I was too focused on not dying to do my front flip. Too focused on not dying. I was trying to fall and do a hang grindy thingy. Don't you tell me what to do. Ah, I got this. I'm gonna do better than I did before. You watch. I will impress you all. I'll impress Ada mostly. Mostly that's my primary motivation right now is to impress Ada. Are you impressed, Ada? Do you like my mad skills? Do you want to do the sex now? Oh god, there's something wrong with me. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Bwomp, and then a bwomp, and then a bwomp, and then a bwomp, and then a bwomp, 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 and a bwomp, bwomp. Do the front flip. And then die. Okay, front flip right now. I can't do the front flip there. That's not... I could do the front flip and double jump. That's a thing I could do, you dumb fucking asshole. I keep forgetting half the mechanics of this game exist. Ah! And you want. Whew. Do not touching. Well, I've been doing that anyway. I've been doing that since day one. Well, not day one, because it took me a minute to figure it out. But I will say, I will brag and say that I figured it out before you told me. I figured out that the whites kill my combos before you told me. Okay, let me go back. What's the hangar? Oh, there's 5 levels. Options. I want to check what my video settings are. Make sure everything's all... Okay, everything is nice and prettified. Just making sure. Accessibility. Colorblind mode. That's nice to know. How's that? Actually, when I got the game and I was looking at some stuff about it, I saw someone asking on the forum if there'd be a colorblind mode, and no one gave them an answer. Although, to be fair, I don't know how old that thread was, so it could have just been made. Thick moves, I knew it was right. Welcome to the left coast. Don't worry, you can still run for Slice. You just run for us too. A grind for a weekend. Yes. And then I'm going to survive the trek. If you find yourself crashing too much, don't flip. Stop flipping, damn it. I wonder if there's... I'm trying to see if there's a Chivo. Ah, fuck. I'm trying to see if there's like a Chivo or like anything that you get, like a bonus to your points or something that you get for touching every track, except for the white ones. Fuck. Don't crash into the world. Why would you say it like that? Why not just call it the ground like any other sensible, normal person? No? Oh, come on. There should be like a thingy you get, like a bonus to your score for touching every single. Though then again, I guess that by touching every single one, you deprive yourself of the chance to do any crazy flips. Underground 2 rails. Got it. Boom. Ah. Okay, boom. Did I just crush at the exact same pixel spot? There. I undergrinded your 2 rails. That's actually the name of the Undertale porn parody, Undergrind. Build at 8 times multiplier. Boom. Change your point, change your point, change your point. Ah! Up. And down. Wait, what did I just do? Why did my bike squeak? Guys, why did my bike squeak? That was, I'm so confused. Was that just the music? I'm pretty sure my bike squeaked. Okay. Bunny Hill. See, I'm wondering... Hang here. Oh, that... I'm so stupid. I'm like 18,000 types of stupid. When I clicked Hangar and saw the like these, I thought that was like the number of levels. Can someone explain to me why I so tarded? Oh well. Anyway, this is where I'm going to stop, and then we'll jump to when I've finished most of the game and I can give my final thoughts. I am liking it so far. My final thoughts will The gameplay itself, I love it. I love the idea. I love the concept. But I want to wait and see. I don't want to give my final verdict until I see how much content there is, how many levels there are, how many bikes. That's the number of bikes, you dumb fuck. But generally, just like, because I'm already 16% done, and a game like this, really, to me, like, I know that it's not like this to most people, and I'll definitely kind of take that into consideration when I give my final thoughts, but to me, a game like this lives or dies based on the variety of levels. Whereas to most people, a low, like kind of like a limited amount of levels is fine, because the appeal of the game to most people is playing those levels over and over again to perfect your score and add just eke that extra few points into your high score. And I get that. I'm totally cool with that, and that's totally cool that that's what most people like, but that's not what I like. I like variety. I don't find any fun in doing the same thing over and over again. With the only difference being that you get slightly better at it. That's why I can't be a speedrunner. But anyway, we'll be back. Okay, and I'm back. I've put a couple hours into the game. As you can see, I'm a little over halfway completed. And I wanted to just give some final thoughts. I know that a lot of people will say that you should reserve your final thoughts until you beat the game. But A, I suck at this game. And B, I don't really agree with that, because if a game doesn't get good until the end of it, then it's not a good game. This is a good game. I'm going to start by talking about the story, because that's the easiest thing to go through. And that's just to say it's not really anything special. It's got this general plot going on about shady organizations and purple hair ladies trying to help me infiltrate and yada yada yada. I'm sure that you're gonna get a better understanding of it later on, but there's 5 bikes, and I'm gonna go through each of them and just show you what each of them is like. And I just realized I have the game muted. Give me just a second, because what I was doing was, after I got my fill of the music. Which, the music's great. I actually do like the music. Turn my volume down on my mic. I actually do like the music, but after I got my fill of it, I went back and... Jesus Christ, that's loud. I went back and when I was playing it, I was just listening to my own music. So anyway, I will point out that it's got colorblind mode. That's nice. Although I don't know, I will say that I don't know much about colorblind people, but colorblind mode seems a little odd in that you choose what colors to make the things, but like if you're colorblind, I know there's different kinds of colorblind, but if you're like full colorblind, like black and white colorblind, how's that help? I guess you can make one a dark color and one a bright color and it'll be black and white to you. I don't know. So anyway, this is the basic bike that you start with. Nothing really to mention. It's got the 2 thingamajiggers. Wheels. Wheels is a word. I thought you should know that wheels is a word. Do a hang grind. So yeah, not much to mention there. You got the left coast bike. This is pretty much the same, except the wheels are different colors, which I'll get into why later, but that doesn't really change much because you're going to run into levels where your wheels change colors anyway. But you got the gimbal, which is probably my least favorite bike. I don't really like the gimbal. The thing with the gimbal is that its spin is kind of off-center. You can see that it's spinning, the axis of the spin is the center wheel. And I will get into in a minute why I don't like the gimbal, but just know that I don't like the gimbal. Zero is probably my favorite bike. And here's why. It doesn't rotate. Like, it doesn't have any weight. You don't have to balance at all. And you may think, oh, that means that you like it because it makes it easier. No, I like it because it allows you to focus less on keeping your balance and focus more on hitting things at just the right angles. And the levels do take advantage of that. And they have some like low hanging areas where you have to really do what I'm doing right now. And it's got 3 jumps, and that's always fun. And then the Subverse, which I haven't had much time with this because I just recently unlocked it, but it's interesting to say the least. And that it's got every time you jump, the wheel changes color. The wheel changes color every time you jump. And that black wheel is actually not allowed to touch anything. The black wheel can't touch anything. So that definitely makes it interesting. Okay, so we've got levels here. Let me try to find one. Trying to find a... Okay, we got these jump orbs. Let's go ahead and talk about these jump orbs. These jump orbs are pretty much exactly what they sound like. Let me move my mouse. I don't know if I'm capturing the mouse, but move it anyway. Okay. So, the jump orbs, you touch them, and you bounce. You know, if you actually do touch them, that is. If you're not a moron like me. Now, one thing I don't like about the jump orbs, and I've noticed this is only ever a problem when I'm using the gimbal, is that there's a loading screen tip that basically lies to you. It says that the jump orbs are spaced perfectly so that you'll always bounce from one to another. And one thing I don't like about this game, and I get that it's a more of a personal thing, and it's, you know, this is how they wanted to design it, but you can't control your momentum. Your bike goes the same speed always. I think as you progress through the track and build up your multiplier, it does seem like you're going a little faster. Now, you just saw just now what I don't like about the gimbal is that if you hit a jump orb with okay, not the right one. If you hit a jump orb with your little nubbin bike thingy wheel, why can't I remember what wheels are called? It sometimes doesn't bounce you the right amount. You end up over bouncing it, and then at that point there's literally nothing you can do. The only thing you can do is go out of your way not to hit it at that angle. And I think that having a little control over how, like, maybe even having a specific bike that allows you, see, you saw it again. If you hit, and I've only noticed this with the gimbal, if you hit with that little wheel, which sometimes you have to hit with a little wheel because that's the color it is, that's the color that the bounce ball is, it over bounces you, and that's really fucking annoying. Maybe having a bike whose special ability, and I did it again, is that you can kind of slow it down to yeah, you get what I'm saying. Now, I will point out that restarts are instantaneous, which is good, because a game like this lives or dies based on if restarts are esoteric. The restarts are esoteric. Oh, Jesus. Now, I like the idea of the color orbs. When you do hit them right, it does feel really good, but let's try to find some of these swappy levels. Swappy levels. Color zones. Okay. So there are these color zones, if I can find one. As you can see, it changes the color of your ball. Why can't I remember the word wheel? See, a color changes the color of your wheels. And now these particular color zones are covering the entire level. Like they're like all the way to the top and bottom. So they change all your wheels, but you sometimes will also encounter tiny ones that are just like little rectangles, and you can use those to change the color of only one wheel. And that definitely adds some complexity to the game that I definitely enjoy. I like the music, I really do. I always forget to do spins. You have to do spins to get even remote amounts of points, and I always forget. Now I will say these extra levels, each level has the main score attack, and as you can see, I got gold like once, and I've never gotten platinum or diamond or whatever it is. Oh, I've got gold twice. Huh, I did well on that level. But that's good because although it's not something that I find myself particularly going for, I do appreciate when games have kind of that high skill ceiling where you can really eke out those extra points, because sometimes games will have a point system or some kind of reward system, but the cap on that reward is pretty low, so once you get anything above that, the only reward is just knowing you did it. But anyway, after those, there's always 2 levels where you have a specific objective. I don't like these levels. I get that they serve a purpose, I get that they're teaching you the game, but I really don't like them because I don't. It just feels constricting. You like when you're in these levels, you could just do. Why would I pick a level that's got the goddamn gimbal? I hate the fucking gimbal. Let's try to get a trophy. Let's try to get a trophy I ain't got before. Yeah. I think what throws me about the gimbal is the fact that the axis is not... The axis is not a happy axis. Yeah. Yeah. That's another thing that annoys me with those jump balls is sometimes you feel like you're going to be able to just like ride off the rail and without jumping and touch it and get your bounce that way, but then you can't. Oh well. Luckily, you don't have to do, you see there's a few that I skipped. You usually only have to do 2 assignments to get to the next track. So like if there's like 2 here that I don't like, do a 1080 front flip and a 1080 back flip. Let's see if we can manage that. This is not the bike that has the 3 jumps. I thought it was the bike that had the 3 jumps. Oh no, it's the one that changes the damn color. Fuck. I did one of them. I didn't land. I don't know why I keep sucking at this. Mostly because I suck at the game in general. And I do recognize that I suck at the game. I know there's a lot of people that tend to, if they're having... Oh, I should have landed that. There was no excuse. No excuse for me to suck that hard. I know a lot of people, if they have trouble with the game, they just kind of blame the game. I don't do that shit. I recognize when I'm not good. Let's see here. I got a notepad over here. Like as I was playing without recording, I was writing down various thoughts that I wanted to thing. I think I've mentioned almost everything I wanted to mention. Oh yeah. Another thing that I wanted to mention is that I don't like how zoomed in the camera is. Oh, if I had landed that, I would have been good. Yeah, now I just gotta beat the... Okay, so 2 points I want to make that kind of go into each other is that I don't like how zoomed in the camera is, because there's a lot of times, especially with like more vertical leaning levels, where you'll find yourself basically not being able to see what color a track is until you're right up on it. Like, you'll be falling, and then like you can see, like, let me jump. See how close to that track I have to be, that purple one I had to be before you could see it? Now, I do recognize that the point is to memorize the tracks, and that also they probably want you to have like good reaction time, and that's where the game kind of grates on me, and where it's just where the game kind of loses me. And again, this is personal preference. It's not a detriment to the game. It's what they were going for, but I would have preferred the game to be more planning focused than reaction focused. The game is really focused on your reaction time. And I would have preferred it to be like more spaced out, more about like actually planning out your routes. Like there's rarely more than 2 routes to take. There's usually just the upper route and the lower route. That jump got me. There's usually just the upper route and the lower route. I would have liked to see more complex tracks, and granted, I'm only a certain ways through the game, so later there could very well be complex track. But I think, and there's something called assist mode, but I haven't turned it on because it just doesn't seem like something I'd want to use. I might as well. Whoa. Fuck that. Touch every jump orb, my ass. Don't touch any white rails. Yeah, I can do that. Let's see what assist mode is, just in case anyone. Time warp. Safe wheels. Okay, I get what you're saying. Oh, no. In general, I find that it's better to go to the upper rails than the lower ones. I just feel like I have more freedom when I stick to the upper rails. Ah, I was almost done with the track too. There we go. Then I would just have to do one more assignment. Don't touch any. And oh, this one's killing me. This one is fucking killing me. Fucking all these damn flip-de-doos wanting me to fucking flip all over the place. What do I look like to you? But yeah. I don't really think I have much else to say, though. The last point that I have written down that I wanted to make is that I hope that this game gets workshop support, because that would definitely be a big boon to the game. Like, because once you've done every level there is, the only thing left is trying to get better scores, and that's only going to appeal to a certain number of people. But if it added workshop support, which I can't imagine it being that difficult to implement, I know that a lot of games, I am aware, because I have done research into this, I am aware that adding a level editor to a game isn't as easy as it sounds. A lot of times the way that levels are created by the developers aren't really conducive to a way for just the general public to make levels. But I do think that if this game got workshop support, and the community really, because the community can make some crazy fucking levels, I imagine. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the game. I like it. Even though I'm only 60%, the reason I'm going ahead and, like I said at the beginning of this bit, the only reason I'm giving my final thoughts now is because if it took till the end of the game for me to like it, then it wouldn't be a good game. But I do like it, and I will be continuing it. It's one of I really like games that are good for just picking it up, banging out a few rounds, making a few attempts, maybe while listening to some music, listening to a podcast or something. This game's really good for that. I'm not going to give it a score because I don't really like game scores. I've never liked the concept, but it's a good game. Go buy it.